I used to think veganism was vegetarianism without cheese, and I found out I was wrong. Hi everyone, I'm here today to react to some vegan cookbooks that I picked up, and I'm just gonna get straight in. Now obviously from the title of this video you'll be able to see I'm not a vegan myself, and there are a few reasons for that which I'm not going to get into right now, but it turns out veganism is actually a lot harder than, say, sticking to a diet. I've made a video on veganism in the past that that's had a fair few views, and I didn't know very much about veganism at all at the time of making that video. And so I've gone away and I've sort of been immersing myself. I've infiltrated, if you will say, a couple of vegan groups. Obviously I say infiltrated because I'm not a vegan myself, but I've infiltrated my way in there, and I have been just observing, and that is where I've learned a lot about veganism. Like I say, when I originally first started reading vegan things or hearing about veganism, I thought that veganism was simply vegetarianism without the cheese. I thought you just weren't allowed to cheese, you weren't allowed to drink milk, that was veganism. No cheese, no milk, no meat. But there's a hell of a lot more to it. So from my research, shall we say, where I've been in these vegan groups, I will say I haven't been participating, I've been watching, which sounds creepy as hell, but I don't mean it in that way. I just wanted to learn more. But I have seen a lot of debates, and when I first started reading vegan cookbooks and things, I was shocked to learn that vegans don't use honey, and oh, if that surprised me, I was in for a shock. And I just couldn't get my head around why you couldn't use honey, and upon research I have discovered why you don't use honey. I'm not going to go into the reasons why vegans don't use certain things or anything like that, because A, I'm not a vegan, so I don't feel like I have the right to say what vegans do because I'm not a vegan myself, and also B, a lot of the people who will watch this will probably be vegan themselves and waiting for me to say something stupid like but bacon, which tends to seem to be a stereotypical person who eats meat comment to veganism. I would say that I would never say anything like that to a vegan. I think comments like that are absolutely stupid myself, and I would have never said anything like that even previous to doing my vegan research. So I will say that yes, I'm not a vegan, but I have made a lot of lifestyle changes, and I have started to eat a lot of vegan meals. I generally never ate dairy products very much anyway, apart from when I was pregnant. I went crazy for cheese, but dairy products tend to make me ill, so I don't really eat them anyway. But it's a case of, for me, just cutting out a lot more meat. I have been cooking a lot more vegan meals, and so the 3 books that I've got are these 3 here. So the first book I'm going to talk about is my latest edition, and that is Bosh. Bosh has received a lot of attention online, and the meals looked amazing, so I thought I'd pick it up. I don't have as much trepidation about vegan cooking anymore after my first vegan video that I did. It was a bit of a revelation to me. I didn't realise that vegan cooking could be quite so delicious, and so I now cook vegan meals very, very regularly, a few times a week, if not more, and just the meals in these books are amazing. Look at this: mushroom pho and pho soups. You've got guacamole, which is like a guacamole pasta, instead of your macaroni. It's made with guacamole. It is fantastic. I've made a lot of things from this book, and everything has been amazing. Some of my favourites have been the quick puttanesca pasta. That was absolutely delicious. I've made puttanesca pasta before, but this one has sort of a different recipe to the one that I have used. Actually, I've used 2 different recipes for it, but that one was different. I made a pad thai, which was again absolutely delicious and went down very well. I should say, when I'm cooking, I'm also cooking for my husband and my 5-year-old, so everything that I make, I'm making it for a family. The sweet and sour crispy tofu, that was an absolute delight. It reminded me of takeaway sweet and sour, but with a lot more flavour. I will say that in that one I didn't really enjoy the tofu. It felt like it was lacking something. I don't know if maybe next time I would maybe try sweet and sour, maybe mushroom or something like that, because I didn't really enjoy the tofu in that meal for some reason, but I did enjoy the actual meal. So another meal that went down really well was this one, sagaloo curry. It takes a little bit more work, and there are quite a lot of ingredients and things, but it's not a book to be put off by, because although there are quite a few different ingredients and certain things, like you need things like fenugreek and cumin and things, which I already have in my cupboard because I'm a keen cook, but if you don't have them, it can be quite a bit to shell out and buy all these different herbs and spices. I will say, if you're going to do that, buy shop's own brands herbs and spices where you can, rather than going for the traditional branded names, because they taste exactly the same, and you're going to pay £1 extra each tub. So if you're just starting out, perhaps go for all of the shop brands if you can. And I think once you've got all these ingredients in the cupboard and you start being not afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, this is an amazing cookbook, and I can't recommend it enough. And that's been said as a non-vegan about a vegan cookbook. This has become one of my most used recently. So if you haven't already, pick up Bosh. Or if you have got it, I'd love to know what you like cooking from it, because there's certainly things I haven't made yet that are amazing. So yeah, if you use this, let me know. The next book that I've got is this one, The New Vegan. This is a little bit grubby, I will apologise. It's because it's been sat in my kitchen getting used, and my cookbooks, I don't treat them preciously. They sauce gets all over them, and all sorts of things, and yeah, so my cookbooks always end up a bit grubby. Not like when I'm reading novels and things, which I keep very precious and don't really like people touching them or bending them or anything. My cookbooks I'm not precious about. This book is aimed at new vegans, which, if you're interested in going vegan, this is a brilliant starting point for you. It has sections on why you would go vegan, and it's got sort of the health benefits and the compassion, the animal compassion, the environmental issues and things. So if you're interested in knowing more about veganism and why people are going vegan at the moment, this is a good one to read into. And it has where you can get your nutrition, what you can eat, dining out, which are all common worries for vegans, from what I've seen on my infiltrated networks. What do you tell people? I had never really thought about this before, but apparently a lot of people have trouble telling people that they're vegan and receive a lot of backlash, which I'm shocked about, and I'm very ashamed of the human race after some of the things that I've read online. If you are going to buy this book, the one meal that you have to make, you absolutely have to make, is the simple nori lunch wraps. I've made this 5 or 6 times now. It is fantastic. It's delicious. It's one of my favourite meals of all time now, and it's vegan. It's good for you. It's yeah, it's just this recipe is everything that you need. So if you buy this book, flip straight to page 52. That is the page that you need to start on. I love this book. There are so many ideas for people who are just maybe entering veganism or are just starting to change their diet. As I've mentioned, I changed my diet quite dramatically about 2 or 3 years back, and so a lot of these things I would naturally be able to think of myself now. When I first started venturing into vegan and vegetarian style cooking, I found it difficult to imagine things outside of the general what we are told in schools, with you need meat and a side and a carb and all that sort of thing. I found it hard to get out of that mindset, but now I'm there. A lot of these are things that I would put together myself anyway without a cookbook, so it is quite basic. Some of the things like this tofu ricotta toast, that would be something I would be able to put together myself. But again, there are some more advanced meals in here, and like the nori wraps, which are really delicious. You've got miso marinated mushrooms here, which are fantastic. And just everything in here just looks so colourful, so beautiful. I mean, look at that. If that isn't appetizing to you, I just don't know who you are. So that is The New Vegan. So this, again, is another one I would really recommend to you, especially if you're just going to be dipping your toe in and you're interested in making some lifestyle changes. This one I recommend. And it's often on offer on Amazon. I think I picked this up for £4 or £5 on Amazon, which was brilliant. The last book that I've got is this one, Feed Me Vegan by Lucy Watson. Again, it's similar. It's got some very colourful, beautiful vegan recipes in it. Avocado toast with tomatoes and basil, for example, is a one that I really like, and just the colours of it all are beautiful, and it makes it a lot more appetising. Quinoa, sweet potato and kale salad, look at that. And I find that after eating meals like this, you feel full, but you feel good. Whereas if you eat, for example, a massive steak, although you might enjoy it at the time, I tend to feel after eating something like a steak, I can feel quite sluggish, a little bit sort of just not good, which I hadn't noticed before until I started cooking a lot of meals like this, spinach and pesto pasta. Very easy, very quick, but very filling and delicious. I started to notice a difference when I eat healthy foods and healthy vegetarian or vegan based foods. I noticed that I feel a lot healthier after eating those to when I do eat something meat laden. So we've got chickpea and butternut squash curry, which is another one that is another favourite, and again this is another one that I would really recommend to you. And so those are my latest non-vegan ideas on these vegan cookbooks. I would thoroughly recommend them to you even if you're not vegan. You can use some of these as side dishes and add your own things in should you fancy a big baked brie. You could put that on the side with some of these nice vegetable meals, so don't feel that if you buy a vegan cookbook you've got to completely eat vegan. However, I do find that the more vegan meals I make, the more that a fully vegan spread is perfectly acceptable, perfectly fulfilling to me, and is something that I crave now. Yeah, so if you have read any of those and you have any of those, let me know. And if you have any vegan cookbook recommendations for me, let me know, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.